Greetings. Something I'm not very good at all, which has become very apparent to me as I sat here for probably the last hour telling myself I was going to start recording and kept putting it off, not wanting to push the record button because I didn't know how I was going to start, how I was going to introduce myself to you guys, how I was going to make the most of this video, the most of this opportunity. I wanted to be able to say the perfect stuff that would draw you people in and make you guys want to watch more of me. But really, the whole procrastination thing, the whole camera shyness thing, it just wears and wears and wears, and you just drag it out more and more and more, and you keep telling yourself, oh, I'll practice a little more, oh, I'll think about it a little more, oh, maybe I should rehearse it. I just kept doing that more and more and more and more and more and more and more, and good advice, don't think, just do. I got that from my brother-in-law. And of course, he didn't come up with it. I really doubt he did. But he was the first person I heard it from. And I thought about that for a few years, and yeah, it's becoming very clear now. Don't think about it. The more you think about it, the more you put it off, the more you start to think what could go wrong, and sometimes you just get caught up in the illusion of it already happening. You just are satisfied with the fantasy, and so you don't actually step out and do it. And that's been a big problem for me right now. I've been putting this off for far too long. I've been wanting to start doing this for years, since before all the new changes to YouTube partnership has started up and all that stuff. That's not necessarily what I'm looking for here. It would be nice, but that's not what I'm striving for. I just genuinely want to start a channel. I want to start vlogging on a regular basis. I want to keep track of things and engage with people out there. And yeah, I lost my train of thought. Wonderful. That's exactly what I need right now. Where was I going with this? Just do. This is awkward. This is fantastic. This is exactly what I was worried about. But yeah, I'm not going to hit the stop button. I'm so tempted to. I always do that. But we're just going to keep going. We're going to roll with it. We're just going to truck it through this. I don't know the right phrase I'm looking for even. But yeah, there it is. That's the thought I was looking for. I've started a new chapter of my life. And that's the reason I've decided to really stick it to this YouTube thing. I'm going to actually start it, and I've made the first step. The first step is hitting the record button, and I've done that much. I may not even bother looking at this once it's done recording, because then I'll be thinking to myself, oh, I sound like such an idiot, I shouldn't upload this. I'm just going to sound like an idiot on the internet. And hey, it happens. I'll just upload it and whatever. See what happens. Hey, what's the worst that could happen? I get a bunch of trolls. Everybody gets that. Everybody goes through that. I'm probably talking fairly fast. I don't know. I'm losing perception of time at the moment. That's how awkward this is for me. I'm majorly camera shy. And I have a hard time speaking aloud at full volume, which is why I have the mic so close to my mouth. So I may have to run this through an editor at some point anyway, just to tone down the sound. But I don't know even how to do that. But we'll make this work. I apologize in advance if it is too loud. Maybe I should put a warning if it is to turn the volume down. Maybe it is too loud. Maybe it's not loud enough. Maybe I should start speaking up. Maybe you should turn the volume up. I don't know. But yeah, no chapter of life. I get sidetracked very often, so please bear with me. Anyway, so as I've said twice now already, maybe 3 times, I'm starting a new chapter of my life, and I want to keep track of it. I wanted to use this as an opportunity to get this YouTube thing started. And hopefully just see it coast on, turn into something big and awesome. Presently, I don't have the greatest technology or equipment to work with. I've got a really poor webcam that's hooked into my laptop. I don't have an external camera. I really want one. I used to have one, and it was amazing. This one is probably the poorest quality webcam I have ever dealt with, even though it's the newest laptop I've ever had. Though it's a year old, I really need to upgrade, which is sad considering how fast technology changes and stuff, how quickly people start to think, I need to upgrade. I miss old technology. My old computer was way better than this one. I don't know why. Yeah, I remember why. It got stolen. That's why I have this new laptop. But yeah, in the future, I'll have better equipment, better recording capabilities, and hopefully not sound so awkward as I'm trying to speak with you guys. But yeah, new change to my life. That's the main topic that I should be focusing on, that I wanted to focus on, but I got off on way too many tangents and just ramble, and that's natural. I mean, I'm nervous. My first video, the first one is always the hardest for everyone, I'm sure. I mean, sure, somewhere down the line, I'll come up with kind of like a lack of ideas for what to talk about, a lack of concept, but at least I'll be used to the talking by then. I'll be used to that part. The camera shyness and everything will melt away, and life will hopefully get better. It's just another hurdle to get over. So, what does this new chapter entail, per se? Well, I've left a lot of my old life behind me. I've burned down a few bridges here and there, which I kind of regret in some aspects, and maybe they'll get rebuilt as time goes on. But for now, I'm on my own for pretty much almost the first time in my life, at least to this degree. I mean, I've been on my own before. I've left home and walked for days to get to a bus depot, to travel across the country, to start a new life, but then ended up getting back into the same old habits and getting back into the same kind of situation where I'm stuck having to report to other people, having to worry about other people that I live with, having to worry about making too much noise, having to worry about being out too late, not wanting to be the person who comes in at like 2 in the morning and wakes everybody up. I've always had to worry about that. I've got a lot of little idiosyncrasies in my... That's not how to pronounce that word, but I'm going to go with it. Little idiosyncrasies in my head that kind of limit me. And I'm at a point right now where that's not as big a deal anymore. I'm living in a hotel room. Month by month I'm paying for. So I'm pretty much renting out a room at a hotel. And I'm at the point where I can talk freely now and not have to worry about being interrupted. Probably anybody who walks by my room will just think I'm on the phone or something. So that kind of helps me over that mental hurdle. I've had to worry about making too much noise and people wondering what's going on, and then them coming and then knocking on the door. That probably wouldn't have happened, but that's the kind of thing that goes on in my brain. That's the kind of thing that I worry about. I've got this really self-conscious, self-defeating aspect to my brain that really holds me back in a lot of ways, and I'm hoping to get over that now that I'm in a situation where I can practice and kind of get used to acting a certain way. I can make something of myself. I have christened this room The Forge, because from it I hope to take the crude self that I am and transform it into a beautiful piece of art. I want to become anything I've always wanted to be, and I'm hoping that this room will serve as the starting point to which I can accomplish that. And hopefully through YouTube, I can share it with the world, share the transformation. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm going here. Somewhere along the line, I would like my channel to be more than just vlogging. I would like to do tutorials, maybe reviews, maybe gaming stuff. I don't know, that's kind of cliche. Everybody pretty much is doing that these days. Even people who used to never do it, and people who always said they didn't understand why people do it, some of them are starting to do it too, just to appeal to that audience. And it is something I would like to do, but I might not do it right away. I might. I've got the equipment kind of right now. I finally have a screen that I can run my HD PVR on. Yeah. But yeah, if you're watching this, maybe I'll bring it up again further down the line for people who aren't going to watch this. If you want to let me know what you might be interested in, what kind of stuff that I've mentioned maybe rings a bell for you and you'd like to see more of that on YouTube, let me know. And if you've got any recommendations for games, stuff to review, things to do tutorials on, let me know about those. And I'll see what I can do. I'd like to kind of have a wide range of things that I can do on here other than just vlogging. I might build special channels specifically for those things, for the people who want to watch one thing but don't want to watch another thing. They can sift through it and just subscribe to the ones that they feel like seeing regularly. And so we'll see how that plays out. I don't really know what else to talk about. I have a lot of books back here and in my car out there. I've hoarded books for lots of years and just have a hard time getting rid of them because I haven't gotten the information from the book into my brain, and I need to start doing that so that I can start getting rid of the books. Let the books go, pass them on to the next generation of people who need those books. But the big thing is getting the information into my brain. And I'll start reading the book and progress probably halfway through the book, and then I'll put it down, get distracted by another topic and start reading about that, and then the other topic slips out of my head. Like the one topic goes in and the new topic goes out, and I just lose track of everything, and I need... Hopefully the Forge will serve as a good medium through which I can start actually cracking down, getting myself to learn these things, ingraining it into my brain, even if it's not something entirely useful. At least I have that information in there that I can draw on some other time when I need it. And maybe I can do reviews on those books. Maybe I can do tutorials about some of the more educational stuff from those books. I don't know. These are just ideas I'm throwing out there for YouTube. I don't know. If you guys want to see some of that stuff, let me know. The first book I'm kind of working on is to kind of go along with the whole self-improvement aspect of what I'm hoping to get from the Forge. It's called Spiritual Practices of the Ninja, Mastering the Four Gates to Freedom. The Four Gates to Freedom. And it's by Ross Heaven. This is the book. Don't know if you guys would be interested in reading it yourself. I might share my experiences from reading it. Don't know if that would necessarily qualify as a review, but it's definitely... I've gone through the first half of it. Like I said, I'm bad at keeping up with things, and I really hope that I can change that. But I've gone through the first bit of this book before, and I found it very enlightening, very inspiring. And I came to a lot of realizations about myself that I didn't know before, and it really helped me out. And so I'm hoping that with this whole transformation thing, this book will be a good first step. A lot of it is about initiation rituals and how lots of other cultures have them, but Western society doesn't really cater to the whole initiatory path. That's not... I think I'm describing that wrong. I don't think initiatory rite is the right word for it. Rite of passage, that's what it was. Most cultures have a rite of passage for when you're going from adolescence to adulthood, or childhood to adulthood, or whatever. Western society doesn't really have that. And so this book kind of helps to compensate for that. And it describes most people in Western society as being adolescents within adult bodies. They haven't really learned how to really grow up. They have this false idea of what growing up means. And I think for a long time I've had a false idea of what growing up means. And it's made me kind of shy away from wanting to grow up. held myself back a lot. Tend to be fairly immature as a result of that. But the book helped me to kind of see that there is a different side to growing up. One that's not quite so disheartening. Yeah. So I definitely recommend the book. I'll be sharing my experiences as much as I can remember or feel comfortable with as I go through the book again. And yeah, I don't know if maybe some of what I go through and share with you guys will help you. Maybe it'll just inspire you to get the book yourself and get your own spin on things. But we'll see. And once I finish that book, I'll move on to another book and then decide based on the content of that book whether or not it's good enough for a review or whether I can actually do a tutorial on it, or we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is turning into a fairly long video, I think. But I think it's an alright introduction. I just wanted to kind of set the groundwork here, let you guys know where I'm coming from, and just get past this whole hurdle of me being afraid to actually hit the record button and get this whole thing started. Yeah. For any of you guys who have wanted to start a YouTube video, or YouTube channel, or whatever, and have just been hesitant, I feel your pain. I know. I understand. Yeah. Them feels. But this is the first hurdle, and I pushed myself past it. Don't just imagine what you want to have happen. Don't get lost in the fancy imagination. Go out and do it. Just don't think about it, just do it. If you know what the first step is, don't think about it any further from that. Just do that step, and then from there, find the next step. And then from there, find the next step. And that's the best way to make progress. Just don't think, just do. And I have one of the things that's going to help me with this whole Forge idea and transforming myself. I found it very helpful when I first started doing it, which was just like a couple weeks ago, and then I slipped out of it, and now I reminded myself again, now that I'm starting this new chapter, it's going to be something that I'll bring up with myself a lot. Don't let your imagination run crazy. Don't get caught up in the imagination part of planning what you want to do, because you'll start either becoming so satisfied by just the imagination of it that you won't even move forward to actually doing it, to actually accomplishing what you want to accomplish. You'll just keep thinking about it and daydreaming about it, and that's a trap that I get stuck in a lot. And on the other side of the coin, which I also get stuck in a lot, is that as your imagination runs through these things, you start to think of things that could go wrong, things that you might not want to have happen that could possibly go along with this stuff but won't necessarily, and you don't, that small chance that it could happen is just enough to keep you from wanting to actually do it. Like for me, the idea of looking stupid on YouTube, which I probably do, but hey, most people probably do, but a lot of people are willing to overlook that. A lot of people don't even notice because it looks more natural, it looks more real, they look like real people, because real people are stupid. No, just kidding. But yeah, don't get too caught up in the imagination, because you'll bring yourself down, or you'll just get stuck in a rut. Imagination is a great tool. It can definitely help you chart the path, but don't let the map be the end all. The map is to guide you through the journey, but you need to actually go out there on the journey and use the map, not just be satisfied with the map. I don't know where I'm going with this. Turns into some sort of inspirational thing. But yeah, if you're having trouble starting a project, I know exactly how you feel, because this has been really put off for a long time for me. I've been putting it off for so long. For probably almost exactly a year, I've been telling myself, I'm going to start YouTube. I'm going to start doing stuff on YouTube. I'm going to post videos on YouTube, vlogs and games and all sorts of fun stuff, and people are going to love me, and then after a year I'll be great at it, and then nobody will remember all the embarrassing videos behind me. But the fear of those embarrassing videos, the starting point, the fear of looking stupid and not knowing what I'm doing, held me back for so long, and it's been over a year. it's been years. But since I kind of built this idea, like the name I'm going under, Thaddeus Xenos, it is a YouTube alias. It's not my real name, but it's the name that I've always liked. I feel it represents the kind of person I want to become, and so I'm using it as my YouTube name to kind of give me something to aim for. That name I created well over a year ago. Not the full name, but the Thaddeus part for sure was designed years ago. And I always had the intention of using it as my YouTube name. Now, Thaddeus Xenos, I'll explain that another time. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe the next video, whatever. I'll explain that some other time. But it's been a long time in the making, and I've only just now actually taken the step to make it real, to bring it from my imagination into the real world, and hopefully it becomes a success. I mean, tomorrow will be a lot easier. The next time I make a video will be a lot easier because I've gone through this now, and I'll be posting it, and then I'll see it on the website, and I'll think, okay, I've done this before, I can do this again. I think I've dragged this out for fairly long. I think I'm going to take a break now. I overcame a lot of setbacks just now, and it's a little overwhelming. And I could probably keep talking and talking and talking, and you get sick of me and click away. Probably. Please excuse the looking down all the time. I get distracted by myself. I'm not being egotistical or narcissistic or anything like that, though sometimes I fall under that umbrella. But I just want to see what I look like. I get nervous again. I want to see what do I look like as I'm talking to you guys. So I apologize for looking down. I apologize for looking around all over the place, gesturing too much, no rubbings here and there. But hey, it's a start. It'll wear out eventually. I'll get used to talking to this. Maybe what I should do, maybe for people who feel awkward talking to a camera, they should take a picture, cut it out from a magazine or whatever, cut a little circle on one of the eyes and stick it over the webcam and just talk to that picture. But it might just be better to just get used to talking to a camera. But maybe for starting out. I thought of doing that, but I just never got around to it, and now I've just decided to just go with the camera. So yeah. Again, I tend to go on tangents a lot. I'll get talking about one thing, and then I'll lead me to another branch, and I'll come back to the main thing, and I'll go on to another branch. I've noticed I do that a lot. A whole lot. But yeah. I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for enduring my very first awkward video. Thank you for sitting with me for this long. I mean, if you've reached this point, which clearly you have if you're watching me say this, I really appreciate it. Your patience is greatly appreciated. And yeah, I hope you guys, whoever's watching, you especially, make this as personal as possible. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Ciao.